one, you have to start being present. And it's so hard. I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh my God, just be present, because it is hard. Like, I try every day and like I just notice my mind going off. So it is so hard. However, let's just start with where to start. Where did I start? So a perfect book, I will put it on the screen here, The Power of Now. I read that book when I had COVID in 2020, and honestly, it is so good for teaching you, for telling you how exactly to become present. So work out, do a walk without music, notice things in nature. You're washing the dishes, be present about washing those dishes. Stop thinking about what you're cooking for dinner, what's going on tomorrow. Just be present in every single task. And I'm telling you now, you won't do it first time, you won't even do it the 30th time. I am still practicing to the point where I'm like, okay, I could probably do with rereading that book. But it is just, but do you know what it is? Once you're aware of it, once you are trying to achieve being present, that's all that matters. Because you're aware and you're trying, so you will catch yourself. And that is the main thing. Like, you're trying to be present, you know, you go not thinking, you think, back to the moment. Your mind goes off, back to the moment. Because that's literally what it is. It's a battle with yourself constantly of, oh my God, no, not worrying about it. Oh, no, I'm not worrying about it. But it starts there. Start with being present. And even the most boring tasks, like I said, washing the dishes, cleaning up mess, driving to work. Like, we all drive to work or drive around our cities on autopilot. Actually be like, oh, this. Do you know what I realised? So basically, I am terrible with directions. Like, I live in my city and I don't know half the roads. Like, I use SatNav for everywhere. And you know what I realised? It's because I'm overthinking. It's because I'm always in my head. Because I'm not, when I'm driving, I'm not actually like thinking, okay, that's that road and that road goes there and this is that road and that's on that road. I'm not aware, like I'm not present at all. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm driving, but I'm in my head. And that's when I thought, oh my God, Renee, like, this is bad. Because yes, okay, whatever, you use a sat nav, but imagine one day there isn't a sat nav. Imagine my phone really dies. I would be screwed, guys. So I'm like, do you know what? I need to start being more present. Like, even on the journeys to Nashville with my daughter in the morning, I'm like, I need to talk to her, like interact with her, like start pointing out the cars and the colours, and do you know what I mean? Like, just get the hell out of my head and start worrying about later and dinner and this and that. Just start to meditating. So this is very similar to the first one. You're gonna be like, oh, Renee, honestly, it's the same thing. It's practice, practice, practice makes perfect. But do you know what? I am noticing the benefit, like, for myself, not reading about all the benefits. I have noticed that my concentration is a lot better. My memory was terrible. I'm starting to like remember a lot more, and I'm like, oh my God, like, I think this is what everyone was talking about when they talk about the benefits of meditation. But it is just good to be still with your thoughts. And again, it is a battle of you sitting there thinking, oh my God, I'm trying not to think, but I'm thinking about that. Oh my God, I'm trying not to think. Oh no, now I'm thinking about not thinking. And but it's fine because that's how you start. And if you want to start with a guided meditation, start with a guided meditation. If you don't, then just sit there. You can also use meditations where you look at an object, like I've spoke before in another video about a candle. If you look at like the flickering light of a candle and just sit there and try and be present with the flickering light. And do not be mad at yourself if you catch yourself thinking about something else. It's fine, just go back. And then you go off again and go back. And what will happen is, as the weeks and the months go on, you'll get to a point where you're going off less. I don't think your mind wandering off ever completely stops, but it will happen a lot less and you'll be able to sit for a lot longer. And that is all you are trying to achieve. The fact that you're willing to sit down for 3, 5, 10 minutes and just try and quiet your mind is all you need to do. Like, and imagine doing that thing every day. There's a quote I once read that said, if you practice something for 18 minutes every single day, you will be above 99% of the population. Like, that is crazy, but that's all it is. And when we think about 12 hours in a day and all the crap and the rubbish and the scrolling and Netflix that we do, like, what is 18 minutes? You can literally split that up into 2 nines. Do you know what I mean? 2 sets of 10, 2 sets of 5, whatever, to make that 18 eventually. But imagine if you just take that time to be like, do you know what? I'm sitting and I'm being quiet. For example, I started waking up at 5 and all my friends think I'm balmy. They're like, why would you wake up at 5 a.m? I don't get it. And it's like, it gives me peace. It's the first time ever I can start my day and not rush. I'm a very productive, rush, gotta do this. Whereas at 5, I'm like, do you know what? I can sit, I can meditate, I can journal, I can write my gratitude list. I think I need to do a morning routine actually. And then I can just sit and have my coffee. And it's so nice to then, and then my daughter wakes up and then I can be, okay, I'm present with her now. Like, as soon as she opens her eyes, mummy, 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 milk this, want this. As soon as she opens her eyes. And I used to hate being waken up with that, like, urgency, the crying, oh, I've got to go and get milk, got to go and do this, like, I've got to rush and get up now, and I've got to rush and get her ready and rush and get me. I used to hate it. It's just such a not nice way to wake up when you're not waking up slowly. And don't get me wrong, waking up at 5 is painful, but I always am grateful for it. Always. Like, when I don't, I always regret it, because I'm like, my morning's just not as, it's not as morning-y. Do you know what I mean? And I always find I'm more productive. You'd think that when I wake up at 5, I'm more tired, but I'm not. I'm actually a lot more productive. Don't get me wrong, later on in the evening, I might dip a bit quicker. But any day I wake up at 4:45, because that's the time my alarm goes off, because I like to be downstairs for 5. My day is just way better. I do way more. I'm way productive. I've got more energy for my daughter in the morning. The mornings that I'm like, right, let's get dressed at 8. We're out the house for 9. We're doing this. We're going there. I've done that. Like, I'm just so much more productive when I get up at 5. So think about your morning routine. But think about taking time out for yourself, and you might not have a whole hour. That might just be waking up half an hour early or 15 minutes so you can wake up and then just go downstairs and sit downstairs and have 10 minutes before the rest of the household wakes up. Or you just think, do you know what? I'm not a morning person. It ain't going to work for me. I'm going to do it at night. But for me, I struggle more at night because I'm so tired and I'm just naturally a morning person anyway. At night time, I struggle. That's when I usually fall off. So you have to pick a time of day that fits you best. But I'm telling you now, you just feel so much more better for it. And it definitely does quiet your mind and your thoughts. 3, it is so important to have faith in something, whether that God, whether that the universe, Allah, like whatever you believe in, like to have faith in something, because it helps. Like, there's only so much I can do. Like, me now building my relationship with God, and I'm being honest, like, I'm at the beginning. I'm very much at the beginning. But me trying to build this relationship, I have so much more faith. I'm like, he's gonna take care of it. I'm good. Like, it always works out for me, and it does. And that's the thing as well, like drawing on experiences where you're like, oh my God, like that happened and I didn't even think that could happen. That worked out and there's no way I thought it would work out. And we all have. I don't care how bad your life is right in this moment. We've all got experiences when we're like, do you know what? I got through it. I made it. I didn't die. I didn't die of starvation. I didn't die of being broke. I didn't have to end up on the streets. Like, we've all got situations where miracles have happened and we're like, I don't know how that happened. So I urge you to have faith in you, because that has really helped my overthinking, because I'm like, God's gonna deal with it. God's gonna deal with it. Like, even this morning I had a situation, I was just like, it's gonna be all right. Like, God's gonna deal with it. God is gonna deal with it, and I'm open to creative possibility and solution. And I leave it, and yes, I think about it again. I'm like, it's going to be all right. He's going to deal with it. It's going to be all right. He's going to deal with it. And it really, like, having faith has really helped me stop overthinking, because I know it's not just on me. Like, there's a power way greater than me. He's way more powerful than me. Do you know what I mean? The little old me cannot do nothing in comparison to him. So what is the point in me stressing and overthinking about something I probably can't control? There is no point. And that's another thing. Like, you are stressing about something you can't control. It is a waste of time. If you can control it, girl, get on it. I'm Miss Productive Queen. Like, if you are stressing about something that you know you can change, control, or improve, get on it. Sort your shit out. Stay right today, no more. I'm going to post the content. I'm going to start the business. I'm going to do this. I'm going to eat healthy. Whatever it is for you, if you know you can control it and you have a say in it and it is bothering you and you can't get it off your head, it is time to get up and stop the crap. However, if you are worrying about something that right now you cannot control, you don't know the outcome, it's out of your hands, you can't really do any more than you are doing, that is when it is time to have faith. Or you have to feel the fear and do it anyway. Like me, I used to think about 1,021 options. I'm talking about, in 5 years, in 3. Girl, we're here. Why are you thinking about 5 and 3 in 2 years? Like, we're here. We can't even think about next week. Sometimes we don't know if we're going to make it to next week. But I read a book called Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway. And again, game changer. Like, you are never going to get rid of being scared. You're never going to get rid of it. You always will be scared to some point. So the most important thing you can do is just feel the fear and do it anyway and have faith and stop thinking about everything that can go wrong and in the future and in the past and that happened. No, think about right now. I'm scared, but I'm doing it anyway. That's it, period. Like, I'm scared, but I'm doing it anyway, because imagine how amazing it's going to be if it goes my way, if it works out, if this thing happens that I thought would never happen. 5, positive self-talk. You have to talk to yourself nicely. Give yourself compassion and love. Like, what I do now is I always imagine a version of myself when I was back in secondary school and my self-esteem was at its lowest, and I was struggling. I was a follower. I had a few friends, but it was very much me trying to fit in with them and just not authentically being myself. Like, my childhood was hard and I had a lot of stuff going on. And I always go back to that version in my head and I just hug her and I'm like, it's going to be okay, Renee. Like, you've come so far. Like, you've done so well. Like, it's going to be good. Like, give yourself compassion. So whether you imagine a younger version or you've got a daughter or a child or a best friend, be that person for yourself and be nice to yourself and talk. And some days, like this week, for example, I've just felt really lethargic. I've just felt so tired for no reason. I've had the week off work. It's usually a week where I'd be like, right, I want to start a project, I want to do this, I want to get more done, I want to clean the house. So, like, you know, when you have a week off work, so you think about all the things you need to do that you've let something back from that. I didn't even go gym once. And I said to myself, Renee, it's fine, because sometimes you do need to recuperate and rejuvenate and recharge your battery. And clearly this week was one of them. And I said, you know what, I'm going to have this week and I'm not going to feel guilty for it. I've done the Harry Potter marathon on Netflix and it made me feel so good because I haven't sat down in a long while and just binged on Netflix. I haven't really done much content in those couple of days, but luckily I've done some before and now I'm on a catch up, so I haven't actually missed any schedule. I'm still posting when I want to post and stuff like that, and I feel better. But what happened is, by the 3rd day of just chilling and doing up movie and just doing up minimum, I had a lot of energy. So like now today I'm like, okay, I've done this, I've done that, I've done so much today, and it's like 1 o'clock and it's only 1 o'clock. But that is because I gave myself that space to be like, do you know what, it's okay. And before, I would have felt so guilty about that. I slept, I had some good naps. Like I said, like, I'm so excited. I got to rewatch Harry Potter. I didn't even realise, like, there was like 4 movies I hadn't watched. So I really just enjoyed it, and it's okay to just be kind to yourself and be positive and think about the positive. I always say, with the situation, there's always a negative and a positive, and just be that person where you're like, I'm not thinking about the negative. Like, I will say to my friends, I'm not thinking about that. Like, to be honest, I don't want to hear it. Like, if we're thinking about a situation, I'm thinking about how it's going to work out, how well it's going to go, how much money I'm going to make, how much I'm going to win. And you just have to train your mind. And it's fine to have that initial thought of like, oh, what if? But then just change it. Be like, okay, thank you for that thought. I'm changing it now. It is going to work out. I am going to win. What about if I really do become the millionaire? What about if I start this business and absolutely change my life? What about if I love again and it's my soulmate and I get married and I have my kids and I'm happy ever after? Think about all the positive things that can happen versus the negative, because I am telling you now, there's no situation in the world where there's not a positive and a negative side to it. So what are you going to focus on, sis? Like, it's your choice. What are you going to pick to put your focus on? But just remember, what you focus on expands. What you focus on, you attract. So be very careful about where you're putting those thoughts. If you're going to overthink about what's coming, the dream life, what you want to happen. You hear me? Guys, I hope you liked the video. Please like, comment and subscribe. I post twice a week. And join the gang, because it's all about leveling up and becoming the best, baddest version of yourself on this channel.